There are 60-second clients around you every day, and you don't know it. A lot of times, the reason why I like doing the sales idea and the sales approach, because what's the number one challenge for most people in our business? Number one challenge.
Speaking Spanish.
I wish I could speak Spanish.
Me too.
Okay. So what's another word for that?
Prospecting.
Prospecting. So prospecting, right? So if you have a prospecting process that is simple and duplicatable and allows you to talk to anyone, not waste your time with anyone, would that help you to grow your business? Mm-hmm. It's obvious, right? But once you prospect them, then what's the next greatest challenge? Closing them. So a lot of times when I talk to people just randomly, I'll say, close me. And they're like, right now? I'm like, are you not a closer? I'm like, yeah, like right now, like, close me. And then they'll say, so hey. It's like, it gets real awkward, like really fast. Like, so, like, my name is, I'm like, who are you talking to? And then they'll ask 5 questions. It's like they loaded a shotgun and just shot buckshots everywhere. Like, there are a lot of questions. They're not connected. I was like, I'm going to help you really, really quickly. I'm going to cut to the chase. You're going to enjoy the process, and I'm closing you in 60 seconds. And they're like, I'm going to enjoy it. People enjoy being closed.
Yes. Completely.
If you have a process. And then once they feel comfortable, they will refer other people to you so you can close them because they want to see it happen to them. And then it's like a multiplier. So the first thing we're going to cover today is a 60-second close. If we have time, we'll cover the prospecting piece. I may give you that as a bonus since you guys were so patiently waiting for me today. You deserve that. See, you closed me already, right? Now, for this close to work, I like to frame it up. Have you ever witnessed someone closing an annuity sale in 60 seconds? Never. You. Well, yeah, besides me, right? Have you?
No.
If I could show you how you could do this, what would it mean for your business?
Life-changing.
Life-changing. More of it.
Girls, yeah.
Right? I paused. I waited. I'm closing you as I'm closing you, right? So then my next question is, if I could demonstrate this for you and I can do it in 60 seconds, where I know we dominate the business, would you give me a fair share of that business? Obviously, yes. Okay. Now I need 2 things. I need a customer that's preparing for retirement so we can role play this. I need a timer. Who's going to be the customer?
Tashiko's the customer.
Tashiko, you're the customer.
Should I be difficult or no?
It doesn't matter. Tashiko,
Why not?
it doesn't matter. And that's the beautiful thing.
It's King Charles.
It doesn't matter, please.
Bring it on.
Now, would you be the timer?
Ooh.
Just time it.
Time you?
Who wants to time it? Would you be the timer?
Yeah.
Stopwatch.
I can't count to 10 without getting
You know what? The thing is, because the reason I like to do the timer is because because you're not going to believe it. People don't, they don't believe it, right? So it's on all zeros,
Perfect.
right?
We're in.
And it's Toshiko.
Toshiko.
All right, are you ready, Toshiko?
Sure.
Now, all you have to do is, because what are annuities for? Retirement. So you're preparing for retirement. I'm asking you questions. That's the only frame. Toshiko, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of 2 things. They're focused on accumulation or they're focused on income. What's more important to you?
Income.
Income. Now, do you want that income now or do you want that income later?
Later.
Later. Do you want that income guaranteed for life?
Yes.
Yes. And do you want to have control or no control over the underlying cash value? Control. You must know my ex-wife. Okay, so you want income later, guaranteed for life, and you want control? There's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider.
Okay.
I know, you don't even know it. I closed you and you didn't even know it. 43 seconds. Now you may be thinking, but where was the close? Is that what you're thinking? Mm-hmm. Okay. What else can give you income later, guaranteed for life, and control?
Nothing.
Nothing really. So now my next question is, how much income do you want?
Just to pay for my daily living and lifestyle.
Okay. So when you say that, could you give me an annual number?
How about I'll be happy with 10,000, 12,000 a month.
Okay, so that's roughly 120,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay. So if we're looking for $120,000 a year, now I'm not going to guess your age, but give me an age of someone that's preparing for retirement.
I'm 64.
Okay. So if you say 64, right? And when would you want that income to start?
I would say in 4 years.
In 4 years. So we say 4 years. So if you wanted $120,000 of income guaranteed for life starting in 4 years, we would need $1.2 million today.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
And how do I do that?
It's an annuity with an income rider. It's the assured edge. So what are your thoughts after that?
Sounds good, but
But what?
what does it take?
Okay. Now, the real question is, if you weren't going to use an annuity, what would you be using?
Probably just depend on.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Manage money.
A what?
Manage money.
Okay.
If you weren't using an annuity, you'll be using managed money.
Which is the IRAs and the Roth and all that.
Okay, not just like 60-40 portfolios, people they grow, and they take a withdrawal. That's a withdrawal rate normally of 4%. So normally they take a 4% withdrawal, right? That used to be called the safe money withdrawal rate. So if you had $1 million in your portfolio and you had a safe money withdrawal rate of 4%, that's $40,000. That rule is no longer in effect. The new safe money withdrawal rate is more like 3%. So on the same $1 million, then you can only get $30,000, right? So now, why is this so important and why is this so much better? Here's why it's so much better. When you look at the withdrawal rate of our particular product, the initial withdrawal rate is 7%, 7.2%. That's twice as much as the safe money withdrawal rate. So if you were to use your managed money portfolio to try to generate the same amount of income, instead of $1.2 million, you need almost 2.5. What are your thoughts?
Interesting. Tell me more.
Tell me more. And all we have to do from that point is give them more reasons for why they should do business with us. Today, we're only focusing on the close, not the meat of it. And so I don't want to get too far off base. But do you see how we start with a 60-second conversation and we backed into everything else? You can't argue with me because I can give you the same income for 50% less and guarantee it for life. Then for some people that will look at this $1.2 million and say, Charles, that's a lot of money. You guys agree with that? You said you were 64 and you want an income in 4 years. That would make you 68?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At 68, how long do you think you're going to live?
Hopefully another 25.
Okay. Now, you're getting, I can't do this math. It's just too much for me. So if you're getting $120,000 a year times 25 years, that's $3 million. Now, how do you feel? See, at some point, I'm going to keep on going in, and you're going to say, hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me if I was using managed money, I would have to put up about 2.5 million. With you, I'm putting up 1.2 million. And if I live for 25 years, then I'm going to get 3 million. You're going to give me twice as much back? And if I keep living, I keep getting money? Yes. Or maybe you don't need to give me the 1.2 million. Maybe you just only need to give me $700,000 to get where you're trying to get. And as a result, I'm giving you more income guaranteed for life at a lower cost. And now you have more money to invest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a whole nother conversation. I wanted to chase the rabbit because I saw the look on your face, Toshiko, and you were like, that's not a close. I'm like, it is. A lot of times we don't recognize closing is I focused on one solution that's going to solve this problem. And now I can spend 15 to 20 minutes going deeper into that one particular solution. Fair enough? All right.
Wait, can you repeat the whole presentation?
I can.
I want the whole 60 seconds.
I am. We're not done. No, that was
No,
just,
because this time I'm gonna videotape you.
yeah. But the thing is, we only did one arm of the 60-second close.
Alright.
And I chased the rabbit on that one. Now I want to back out of it because for video purposes, I used to be a videographer. I want to make sure it's nice and tight. And we're going to go down each path. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Who wants to be the customer this time? Would you like to be the customer? All right. And what was your name again? Was it
Lazarus.
Lazarus? He has risen.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to rise the sales. We're going to raise the sales. Lazarus, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Who's going to be the timer? I guess I can be the timer. All right. So we're gonna reset the timer. Are you ready to go? Lazarus, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or they're focused on income. What's more important to you?
Accumulation.
A lot of people say that. Are you accumulating for pure accumulation because you want to leave this money for legacy, or are you accumulating for future paychecks?
I want to leave it for the legacy.
Okay, since we're focusing on legacy, for a portion of the funds that we're accumulating, would you like to accumulate it in a way that's safe?
Of course.
Would you like to have some tax control?
Of course.
Would you like to have a decent yield?
Yes.
Okay, would you like to have some liquidity, access to cash?
Yes.
And would you like to have some estate planning benefits?
Of course.
So what you're saying is you want accumulation with style.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you, and that's an annuity. Boom.
An annuity, isn't that something that my parents,
I'm ready to go.
my grandparents?
Okay, I'm ready. It's too late. Right?
They told me not to buy an annuity.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now, if you're not going to put money in an annuity, where are you going to put it?
I'm going to leave it with my broker.
Okay, but here's the funny thing. You just said you wanted safety.
I do.
Oh,
But he has bonds.
okay. Once again, you said you wanted safety. But bonds aren't safe. That's the thing. They think stocks are safe, they're not. They think bonds are safe, they're not. They used to be negatively correlated, they're now positively correlated. So when things are bad, they're really bad. When things are good, they're really good. Okay, what's your next objection?
Wait, hold on. They're not a protected asset.
They're not a protected asset. And why do people have 60-40 portfolios? They want to reduce their overall equity exposure to increase their opportunity for return. They're no longer seeing that with managed money portfolios unless they're adding index annuities.
What? 60 seconds?
What a 60? Well, we did the initial close, right?
No, I'm messing with you.
So now
I wanted to actually make it a little more complex.
I know, and the thing
Because
is,
that does come up sometimes.
but the thing is, what did we just do in the first 60
But you did-
seconds?
You're right. You killed all the objections.
We killed it all. Here was the next one. But what about CDs? You said you wanted tax control. And then you're going to start talking trash about my product. I'm going to say, well, the tax control going to give you a higher yield. So 5% in a CD and 5% in annuity, you're going to make more in a CD, in the annuity because of the tax deferral. And then you're going to attack the fact that, but I was told, my mama had one of these and my grandma had one of these and they couldn't get to their money. Well, you have liquidity. You have access to your 10% of your free out amount. Then my question is going to be, what was the largest check you wrote last year?
Tax bill.
Okay, how much was that check?
$5,000.
Okay, if you gave me $100,000, I can give you $10,000 without any penalties. So I can give you more than I can give you twice as much as the largest check you wrote last year. Next objection, I don't have any. Okay, by the way, we have estate planning benefits. I didn't even think about that, but we got there by asking questions. Do you want this? Yes. Do you want this? Yes. So once we're done, I know I've closed you. You may not realize it, but it's too late. So now I can relax.
They got all the cards.
Once I got to the end, it's like I'm sitting there like we're playing dominoes and you have a glass hand. I can see all the spots. So now let's do it again. Let's do it again. And then you wanna try? I think this time let's try it, but start accumulation, but then future paychecks. Fair enough?
Charles, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. When you got down to the part where you're like, hey, do you want safety? Do you want tax control? Do you want liquidity? Did I miss anything there?
Do you want Do you want safety? Do you want tax control?
Yep.
Do you want a decent yield?
Decent yield, okay.
Do you want liquidity? Do you want estate planning benefits?
Estate planning benefits.
In this presentation, you have this in writing and everything, in video, nothing. This is all you here. Okay, I got you on camera.
Which is why we're doing some of the recording today, because we've tried to get this through our team, and they allow me to present it, and they allow people to record it. Yeah, but they won't allow me to provide any recordings of it.
That's all right. We'll sell this on.
Yeah,
We'll sell this on
yeah,
VHS.
yeah. But as long as you're not sharing it with the public facing, we're good to go.
It's just so, it sticks.
It works.
The more that you watch
It works.
the more that
It
sticks.
works.
It's like, I want to be able to regurgitate.
I agree.
That's all it is.
And it works. So now I'm not going to tell you what path to take. I'm just going to say we already took the pure accumulation path. Pick a different path. Ready to go? Who wants to be the customer?
Give him hell, David. Come on.
David, you want to give me a different path?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. David, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or income. What's more important to you?
Income.
A lot of people say that. Is it because you want income now or because you want income later?
Later.
Now, do you want that income guaranteed for life?
Yes.
Now, do you want to have control or no control over the underlying asset?
I love control of everything.
You must know my ex-wife. All right, I always throw that in there. I use it every time. It works. So you want income later, guaranteed for life, and you want control?
Yes.
David, there's nothing else in the universe that can do that for you outside of an annuity with an income rider.
How big?
Right? It does, because I know I'm done. At that point, I'm done, and now I'm ready to fight. I'm ready, because you're going to say, how much does it cost? And I'm going to say, well, how much is your money manager charging you for your fees?
Fight for that check or fight for that rollover?
One or the other.
That's a process.
It's coming.
What?
You,
No, I said it's a process. He's taking them through.
I'm taking you through my process. At the end, all I got to figure out how much money do you want? That's why I asked you the question. Some people will give you a really big number, and here's what I've learned. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you two questions. Don't answer the questions. Just tell me how you feel. Okay? But no, after I ask you these questions, okay, now you ready? The first question is, how much money do you have in your pocket?
Right now,
See that?
I haven't
I know, but no. See, but the body language. I'm going to ask you a separate question.
Okay.
How much money do you want to put in your pocket right now?
Ooh.
Oh, see that? Do you see?
Happiness. Instant happiness.
You are going to clients that are afraid,
Yep.
that have been used in some cases, that have been confused in other cases, and you're asking them, so how much money do you have in your pocket? How much money do you have in your bank? I want to know everything. Or you could say, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or income. What's more important to you? Income. Got it. Now, do you want that income now or later? Now. Okay. Now, do you want to have that guarantee? Now, you want to have control or no control? Or do you want a guarantee for life? Yes. Now, do you want to have control or no control over the underlying cash value? I want control. So you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control? I do. There's only one thing that does that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. That's the close.
Yep.
They're closed. Now the question is, so how much income do you want? How uncomfortable? Is that uncomfortable? I'm asking you what you want. Here's what I've learned. People that have money, they lie.
They don't tell you.
They don't tell you everything.
People that are broke, they lie. People that have money lie and say they don't have anything. People that have no money lie and say they have everything. At the end of the day, everybody's lying unless you ask them what they want.
The right question.
Because if you ask them what they want, they'll tell you what they want based upon what they have. And now we're having an honest conversation and how we can move forward. So the other way that this works is a person will say, I want accumulation. And I'll say, okay, so you want accumulation? Is that because you want pure accumulation or because you're accumulating for future paychecks? Future paychecks. That's income. When do you want that income to start? Now or later? Now, not a problem. Want a guarantee for life? Yes. Do you want control or no control? I want control. So you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control? Yes. There's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. Boom. And now I'm transitioning. How much income do you want? Because they're going to say, why use you? I'm going to save you 50% on your income and double the difference. I could say that unequivocally. I'm going to save you 50% on your income and double the difference because what's the current safe money withdrawal rate? 2.7, maybe 3%. On average, my withdrawal rates on our product are 6%, 7%, in some cases 9%.
The safer withdrawal rates haven't gone up with interest rates being high.
Oh, so here's the thing. For a long time, the bond market was it was a bull bond market because interest rates were, now it's range bound. So 1 year, maybe you can get a 4% safe money withdrawal rate. Are you going to get it next year? Is it going to be consistent? Because it's the sequence of returns, right? The sequence of returns as you're accumulating money doesn't matter what the sequence is. The average matters. The sequence of returns when you're distributing wealth matters. Why? Because the first 3 years of your retirement will ultimately determine, has a 35% extra weighting than the rest of your retirement. So if you start off with a negative year, a negative year, and a negative year, you're going to be out of money. Do you know what's going to happen when you first retire? You don't. So how do we take that out of the equation? I think that's where the annuities come in because now you don't have to sell off down positions.
Yeah, but wouldn't bonds do the same thing for you? If you lock in a long-term bond.
I wouldn't disagree. However,
Bonds are callable.
no. They're callable. So at the end of the day, there's always a risk associated with it. But here's my thing. Ooh, so you're going to take me somewhere? So I have another tool because I see the wheels are turning, all right? This is a tool I don't share with many people.
I got you on camera.
Yeah, you do. I don't share this with many people because I had a person that said the exact same thing that you said, and they gave me the same look. They were like, Charles, forget about all this presentation. I don't want you to present to me. I want you to give me some real facts. I said, okay, I'm going to build a spreadsheet. Okay, so on this spreadsheet, let's assume, was it going to let me manipulate it? Hold on one second, because I have to, let me see if it lets me sign in. Let me see if it lets me put in the, it's not letting me manipulate it. So what I did was I built a spreadsheet, and let me see if I can, hold on just 1 second. I want to, let me sign into this, because even if the 4% rule was still valid, with withdrawal rates being as high as they are right now on annuities, it doesn't make any sense not to use it. Core bridge. And I love when people like push back and give me their points of view. And the reason I like that is because when you're pushing back and you're giving me your point of view, then you're letting me know that you're focused, and it causes me to give you more ammunition. Because there are a lot of ways that I've done this in the past. Okay, perfect. So let me do it now. So let's say you believe the 4% rule is still valid. Okay. Using your bonds that are generating 4%, if you said they're not callable, everything is good, nothing's going to change, if you needed to use that, if you're looking at a 4% withdrawal rate from the bonds and you wanted $30,000 of income, you'd have to put $750,000 into that portfolio. That's the cost of that income, okay? And let's say it's guaranteed. Is that a bad thing? Is that reasonable? Sure. Okay. I could do it for $500,000 and I can guarantee it, right? I'm going to save you $250,000. So if I can save you $250,000 on income, why would you use bonds?
But at the end of the day, you're going to have your principal over here and not there. You won't.
Okay. So now, and this is where I go into the other one. Right now, at 65, oh, I love this conversation. I'm happy we're going there. Okay. At 65, we have a 7.5% payout factor. That means instead of 750, I only need $400,000. Now I'm saving you $350,000. Once again, why would you use bonds versus annuities? What's your response? Give me the same response.
That's the same response.
Okay. So at 65, how long do you think the person is going to live?
Say 20 years.
20 years. You're going to think I paid you to say this. Just a second. How many years?
20 years.
Oh, okay, 20 years. And in a bond portfolio, it's probably underperforming or conservative because it's designed to give you income. But if I saved you $350,000 and now you could chase alpha in the market with the other 350 over a 20-year period, what do you think you'd average?
5%.
Oh, now you want to be conservative? You can do 4 with bonds. No, man.
6.
Okay, no, 6? I can do 6 with an index annuity.
7.
Okay, I can do that with an index annuity. At least give me 8. Okay, I'll go with 6. I'll go with 6. No, I'm going to go with 6. Don't laugh now. That's $1.2 million.
Sign him up.
Think about it. You gave me $400,000, okay? I'm giving you $1.2 million you can spend down to 0, but there's more. There's more. Because you lived, how long again did you live? 20 years? Okay, and I was giving you how much a year? 30,000? So 30,000 times 20, 600,000? And you gave me how much to do that? Was it 4? Okay, so I gave, let me go back. Okay, let me just go back. So I gave you an additional $200,000 off just the annuity. And then the difference grew to $1.2 million. So effectively, that's $1.4 million. So once again, why are we talking about doing bonds instead of annuities?
Because we're
You know what? I went conservative. Some people are bullish. Some people say, you know what, Charles? I'm a real money manager. I manage money. Okay. What do you think you could do? I could do 10.
charge fees.
If you could do 10, it's now $2.3 million. Let's say we do 7. If you do 7, that's $1.3 million. That's liquid. The $750 they have in their portfolio, is that liquid? No, because if they touch it, their income goes down. So I increased their liquidity. I allowed them to chase alpha. I did it at a discount. I gave them guaranteed lifetime income. It's a gift that keeps giving, and it started with a 60-second conversation, and I was paying attention to when the person says, but what about, okay, what about, okay, what about, because I'm going to do the math on everything that we're doing, and you're going to realize when I'm telling you I could save you 50% on your income and double the difference, it's not a gimmick. It's a fact. What are your thoughts?
Strong.
I love it. I do it all the time.
I was gonna ask about
I
the
can tell you
inflation.
like it's coming out of your pores.
It does.
No, like is there like a provision for inflation with the
What's the best way to keep pace with inflation?
well, of course, it's buy common stock.
To invest.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can buy you income at a discount, unlocking the alpha in your portfolio, you can go chase that, right? So with this 1.3 that we have, can you not keep pace with inflation with that? I have a question for you. How many cars do you have?
I have 2.
Okay. One's probably a sports car and one's probably like 4-wheel drive SUV. Why?
For my kid, my wife and my kids.
Okay.
And one that I drive and see clients.
So why are you trying to put all of your assets in one vehicle?
Okay.
When
I
one should...
agree with that concept.
I know. I'm just saying it because I know you were doing that.
It's good.
You're
But it's good you're touching on that because that is actually, if you don't plan for it, there could be a downside in someone's like.
Yeah, I'm like, this is one vehicle for income.
Yeah.
I'm maximizing your income. This other vehicle's for something else. Most financial advisors, most of our clients that have wealth, they don't have one car, they have multiple cars for varieties of reasons. So why are you gonna put all your money in one? Doesn't make, but sometimes we have to, if we hook them on the front end, I know I have you. I could punch you. I'm like, why are you doing that? But if you don't have them hooked, how can you put pressure on them? You really can't put pressure on them, right? I think that's the beautiful thing about using the 60-second close. So what I did was I walked you guys and gals. This is the 60-second close. This is not, and some people say it's not a close, it's an open. And it really is an open. It's a way to open the conversation and go deeper. From this, I can add layers to it. So now I can start saying, so how do I apply this to my book of business? And now I can say, oh, so for clients that are at least 50 years old, right? They have to be at least 50 to come over here to play on the income side of the equation, right? The max issue age is going to be 80 when you're looking at an income rider, right? And then most of the clients that are under 50 are going to be over here on this side, right? So now, or if you say now, what you're saying is, I want income within 5 years. If you say later, you're saying you want income 10 plus years. So now when we're talking about the income rider, I can say our income rider has a 10% roll up. Your client is 50 years old. That roll up is going to continue until they activate the income. So that could last for 25 years. Oh, your client wants income now? Would you believe if I told you we have a max income of 9% for a 65-year-old? That's 3 times the safe money withdrawal rate. So now I can buy you the same income. It's not about how much income I can give you sometimes. Sometimes it's, I don't need as much of your portfolio as you thought I did. And now I can start asking questions like this. If you could afford to retire tomorrow, would you? Some people will say, I would if I could afford to, but I can't afford to because they're thinking about retiring like their mom, their dad, their uncle, their aunt. I don't have enough money in my portfolio, right? The withdrawal rate it was 4%, now it's 3%. But if I could show you a 7% withdrawal rate, 8%, 9%, 10% withdrawal, depending on the withdrawal rate, maybe you can retire today. But what if I get sick? Well, we also have these other benefits where we can double your income for a period of up to 5 years. Okay, see? But what happens is I'm saying these things because I've collected stories. And then that's going to take us to our prospecting piece. So this is the 60-second close. Normally when we do these sessions, people are like, Charles, can we record? Absolutely. But then when I come back, they're like, it didn't work for me. I'm like, you know why? I'm like the secret sauce, right? It's us having a conversation. It's us doing this multiple times. Because then you say, I did this and it didn't work. I'm like, what did you say? How did you say it? You added too many things. You got to cut. This is not about how do you have a whole conversation here. I'm getting to the point. And now once I get there, now I can relax. I can take a breath. Now I want to see where are you at? Because I can't totally tell you you're wrong without making it a math problem. Like when you said, Charles, what about bonds? And I'm like, no. And when you pointed, you were like, but I still have my principal in this one. You said that with confidence. And then when I started doing the math, you were like, I know where he's going. He went there. Okay, I'm with you. Our clients are the same way. And once our client converts, then who else is going to come with them? Because if I can get you and nobody can get you, and I have a systematic approach, and you're like, I like your system. I like it. Because when people close me and they use a system, I'm like, oh, please do it again. Do it again because I'm learning from that system and it feels good because if you have a system, what are you not doing? Wasting time.
Right.
Quick question. How can I overcome investors who are investing in real estate?
Yes.
Because they are getting steady income from
Yes.
real estate,
Yes.
but they're also ready to
Yes.
retire.
Yes.
And they're ready
Yes.
to give up
That's
and
right.
sell, but
Okay.
there's a doubt.
Okay. Man, you guys are going.
Either that or the broker's going to come after you with a hitman
I mean, I kind of have an answer.
after you start stealing all of his clients.
Why not both?
You can do both.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you get there?
They're kind of tired of doing investments and dealing with tenants.
I have you.
But they're afraid.
I know. I
to
have
let
you.
go.
I have you covered. I'm telling you, I do this for a living. Like, people are like, what do you sell? I can sell anything to anybody. Doesn't matter. Because there are 3 ways that we get paid. What's the first way?
Commission.
Commission, if you sell the product. Second way,
Fee-based.
I would say referral.
Well, okay.
If you bring a friend. What's the third way?
Residual or
Their story.
Story's invaluable.
Their story is really your first compensation. They're giving you gold. They're giving you their heart. They're giving you all these things, but in many cases, we fail to use it. They're throwing gold and diamond and Rolexes at our feet. We're like, yeah, so here's this client profile. We step right over it. What, all the things that you just said, those were all their buttons. So the real question is, how do we lay this out in a way to where we use what they're telling them and then we back into everything else, right? So this is a framework that I use to sell just about everything. I'm going to show you how we use it in that situation. So would you mind being that client for me? Okay. Now, before I go there, what are annuities for?
Retirement.
We said that, right? So annuities are for retirement. So what am I selling? Retirement.
Income.
No. I'm selling retirement. What is retirement?
Freedom.
It's an idea.
Rest.
It's an idea.
Right.
If I ask everyone these questions, we could be here for
Right.
all day and everybody's going to say something that's slightly different, but the vehicle to get us there is going to probably be the same. So I can't talk about the vehicle. I'm talking about, like, what does it mean for you? So I'm going to ask you, what do you want your retirement to be that person? What do you want your retirement to look
I
like?
wish I can retire now. I'm tired of being an investor.
Okay. Now, most people, when they give you a response, the first thing they're going to say is soft. I'm writing upside down, so please forgive me. The first thing they're going to say is soft. What I want to do is, this is a stick man. I know. Please forgive me. I want to see visually what that is so I can associate a dollar amount with it. So I heard what you said, right? But what does that look like?
I feel insecure because I don't want to sell my investments and then I won't have income. I'm relying on my tenants.
Okay, but what does your income allow you to do?
I feel just stressed out and with little income.
I know.
I just want to rest.
I know. But rest where? So what's happening is you're saying all the right things, but those answers are coming from your heart.
Yes.
I mean, for your mind, I'm looking for the answers from your heart.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is, I'm tired.
Yes.
I live in South Beach. It's expensive. Taxes are high. I never want to have to move. My grandkids are down the street. I want to take them across, around the world. I want to do things with them. I want to enjoy them. I have some grandkids across the country. I want to go and visit them, right? I'm trying to figure out this money that they're talking about. Like, what is it doing for them, right? Then
You want to find really their need.
Yes.
What is it that's moving them?
There's something, this money's doing something.
Right.
I need to know what it's doing. Like, what I get it's doing, like, for what? Like, show me what that looks like.
Income.
Then, right, I want to say how much. So if you say I want to travel to Europe, great, where in Europe, right? You want to travel to Africa, great, where in Africa? You want to go to Naples, okay, right? So now once I figure that out, then it's how much is it going to cost? So you're saying income, so how much income do we need to do the thing that you're talking about? So now I'm figuring out how much money do you need. Then the next question is, when do you want to start this? Like, if you could retire at your ideal time, when would it be?
Now.
Now.
Okay, so now, if you say now, what did you just do? When you said now, what did you just do? You closed yourself. You said, this is what I want to do, and I want to do it now. Okay, when are you going to put together a plan to allow you to do that now?
Exactly. Now.
Okay, you close yourself again. I didn't talk about product. But this is the part that really gets people, and no one really does it. This part, why? So you said what you wanted. I want to stay in my house right here. I don't want to have to leave. Why do you want to stay in this house?
In my case, I don't want to stay stay in that house. I want to move into a smaller place,
Okay.
but generate income.
Okay, you want
Steady income.
so you're talking about income. I'm talking about vision. Like, why do you want to be in that house? Why do you want to be in a smaller house? Where is that house going to be, right? We really want to dig into why they want this, right? Then you said now was a good time. Why is now the best time for you to retire?
Because I'm tired of dealing with tenants.
You, what's the worst story that you have? you see what's going to happen?
Always complaints.
I'm like, oh, so what happened?
Okay.
Talk to me.
Okay.
I want you to relive that moment. I'm like, and how old are you now? How long do you want to continue to deal with this? So you hate it. And remember what happened? I
I'm
know.
67 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
tired.
And remember what happened in COVID? The government said they ain't even got to pay you. Oh, see? I just pressed another button.
Yeah.
So what's to say we ain't going to have another COVID? And you're going to be older and you're not going to have an income to go visit your grandkids.
Okay.
Right? So why is now a good time for you to put together a plan?
Because I want to generate, just do something else.
But why is
Besides-
so you want to do something else? Why is your current plan not working? You see what's happening? I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm just saying these set of questions, if you dig into they're frustrated or they say God, they say they grandma, they grandpa, they grandson, they daughter, they ex-husband, when they get into that level, you're in their heart.
You created doubt.
Yes. So now I'm like, so now once they say it, I can use it. But until you say it, I can't use it. So I need you to say a bunch of things that I can use later, and I'm taking all these notes. Okay, got it. Okay, so how are you going to get there? How are you going to be able to retire today?
I don't know. Tell
Okay, see?
me.
Or,
I gave up already. I gave up.
but the point is you gave up not because I'm giving you all this product stuff. You gave up because, you know what? I realize you are my first and most important form of payment. I need to understand who you are, what your story is. We've been talking for a long time, but we ain't talking about nothing but maintenance stuff. How much income do you need? $2,000. Okay, but I don't know what it's for. Now I'm like, no. Let's run that back. What is this for? What is it going to do? We need to understand it. And here's why I need to understand it. I'm not just in this business to make money. I'm in this business to change lives.
Nice.
I can't change lives if I don't know why we're doing this. And they're going to tell me everything, and I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be like a warm rain on a nice sunny afternoon, right? I'm going to take it all in, and then I'm going to ask you, so how are you going to get there? So now I've got you. You're mine. And I want to say, how are you going to do it? And then you're going to say, well, I have money here. I got this property over here. I got this over here. I got this. You're going to tell me everything that you got going on. And then I'm going to hit you with my last question. Is your plan guaranteed?
Real estate is known to be
Oh, it's known to be.
conservative, and you build estate and
Yeah.
wealth through real estate.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in the real
Is
estate.
your
business.
plan guaranteed? If a hurricane comes straight up I-95 and tears up all your houses,
There's insurance.
okay,
Money.
how long does it take to rebuild? And while you're in the rebuilding process, is it generating income?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep going deeper. I can do this all day. Okay, so what you're saying is, yeah, flames at 5, right? I got time, right? Time and money to get to the airport. So now I'm just listening. Okay, so what I'm hearing is maybe we don't make a total exit out of real estate, but there are some things you would like to have guaranteed. Am I hearing that? Is that
I'd
correct?
like to hear that.
So if I could put together a plan that can give you what you want, when you want it, it's a plan that'll be available when you need it. We can activate it now so that you could have the kind of retirement that you want and you can sleep comfortably and you don't have to worry, and we can give you some guarantees. Is that a plan you can commit to?
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna take you somewhere. Sounds like you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control.
I see. Very good.
Right back to the beginning.
Because everybody
Back to basics.
Back to the
Back to
basics.
basics.
Do you see how we did that? I listened to all these things, and the entire time I'm like, that's income. Now, Guaranteed for life. And I know what you want. I know what you want. I'm just looking at you. I'm just waiting for you to catch up. I'm like, so what do you want? Okay. When do you want it? Why is that important to you? How are you going to get there? Is that guaranteed? If I can give you what you want, when you want, for the reason you just described, and I can give you some guarantees, is that a plan you can commit to? Now, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things, accumulation or income. Sounds like you have income goals. And it sounds like you want that income now. And would I be correct by saying you want it guaranteed for life? Yeah. And you want control. You want control. You must know my ex-wife. I say that, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it creates that energy and excitement and the awkwardness. They laugh, or they look at me like, man, my wife is right here. I'm like, she's laughing. You should laugh too.
You really have an ex-wife, though?
I do. I used to say my wife. Now it's my ex-wife, so it became funnier.
Not really.
No, man, no, it's just in time, all things will heal. So
I'm still waiting.
I know, but the funny thing is when you interject that, it takes the pain away from what they're dealing with and it throws it away. And when you throw that pain away, it creates levity, and now they could think about themselves. And they always relax and say, you know what, I do want this. But then they go back to the questions you had. Because I'll close with this one story, and this is kind of how we put a lot of these things together. Did I answer your question, though, about how do we get them? We can't get them by just moving them with their mind. We got to grab their heart. They've already experienced enough pain where they want to move, but not enough, right? Because once people say they want to move, they go for the money. I'm not going for the money. I'm going for your dreams. What do you want this? Okay. Because sometimes people don't know what they want their retirement to look like. I've done this for over a decade now, and I can't tell you how many times I sit down with people, and it takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And then in that 45 minutes to an hour, they tell me things that they haven't told their husband or their wife, and they've been married for multiple, like decades, 40 years. And I'm like, you gonna tell me something you hadn't told your husband? No. I'm like, okay, yes you are. No, I'm not. I say, your husband, y'all just have maintenance conversations. And she's like, what do you mean? Was the bill paid? Did you take the trash out? You gonna pick the grandkids up? Does he really know what you want your retirement to look like? Yeah, he's my husband. No, he doesn't, right? Or no, she doesn't, right? So this is something that happened. I'm gonna put a bow on it, right? This happened not on this past flight, but this happened earlier this year. And it happens to me kind of frequently, but this one was really good because he had some objections like you had, a little bit, right? And so I'm sitting on a plane, and sometimes I just don't feel like talking.
Yeah, you sold an annuity on the plane.
I sold the annuity on the plane, right? And so we're sitting there. He's coming down the aisle. I'm reaching for my headphones to put it on. I didn't get it in time. I was like, oh, you got me. And so he's like, what do you do for a living? You dress nice. I'm like, well. So I said, I'm an executive, and I travel across the country to help people, help their clients understand how to, prepare for retirement. Great. Can you talk to us? Nope. Because my broker-dealer doesn't want me to talk to clients directly, right? I said, but he's like, but would you please just have a conversation with us? I said, okay. And I said, most people that are preparing for retirement, they're very excited or they're very afraid. He was like, yeah. I'm like, what? I said, both? Yeah. He's like, both. I'm very excited and I'm very afraid. And I was like, what if I could alleviate that fear in 60 seconds? And his wife's like, 60 seconds? I was like, 60 seconds. So we go into it, right? I said, most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things. They're focused on accumulation or they're focused on income. What's more important to you?
Did you actually take out your...
I actually did. I always do.
iPad?
And here's why I do.
It's a visual.
60
Right, so they could see it, exactly.
60% of Americans are visual, 30% are auditory, 10% are kinesthetic. So if you can see it, yes, that's right. And so I do it every time. And people are like, oh, here's Charles with a napkin, here's Charles. And then like, what if you don't have that? My phone has a little notepad on it and the stylus, so I'm always doing it. So I said, do you want accumulation or income? And he was like, most people, when they're in that phase of their life, You think they don't know? They know, and they're not going to hesitate. He was like, I want income. I said, okay. Do you want that income now or later? And the interesting thing, he said later. But I'm looking at him. He's an older gentleman. I was like, are you saying, do you want that within 5 years? Or do you want that 10 plus years? I want it within 5 years. I say, that's now. And I'm educating him along the way. That's now because the average retirement is going to last 20 to 25 years. So now, whenever you do that, they light up. It's because they're using their prefrontal cortex. That's their executive function, right? You want that? Do you want that guarantee for life? And then it's like the sea of emotions. I can have that, yes, but do you want a guarantee for life? Yes. Do you want to have control or no control over the underlying asset? I want control, and yes, I do the wife joke. The wife is between me and him. She's dying. She's laughing. And he looks at her, and then he thinks about it for a second, and then he laughs. And then he says, and then I go back, I say, okay, so if you want income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control, there's only one thing in the universe that could do that for you. That's an annuity with an income rider. And after he finished he laughed, and he's like, but I have a lot of money. And he said it with like confidence. I have a lot of money. And I have very smart people managing my money. Why is it that they have not told me about annuities if they're this good? I say it's very simple, right? When you met your money manager, you didn't have anything, right? And he helped you to accumulate massive amount of wealth. And he had a very specific process that allows you to do that. If he used the same process to distribute your wealth, you could run out of money before you die. That's what I'm afraid of. Before I can finish, that's what I'm afraid of. I said, now most people that are using their managed money are using a withdrawal rate. That's right. And he says, I'm going to write this upside down. Hopefully I did it right. 4%. I said, that's right. But the new safe money withdrawal rate is more like 3%. So what does that mean? And whenever I do this, I make it real. What does that mean? If you wanted $30,000 of income, how much money do you have to set aside if you have a 3% withdrawal rate? He says $1 million, right? $1 million. Now, is that $1 million liquid? Yes. No. It's like, it's liquid, but if you touch it, your income goes down. And it's still a chance you could run out of money. I could do the exact same thing, but I don't need all of your wealth. I could take a percentage of your income, of your wealth, give you a 6% withdrawal rate, give you the same $30,000 of income for $500,000. So we can give you the same income. We can save you 50%. Now you have an additional $500,000 that you can accumulate, right? And we did the math, right? And if we can get XYZ% return, now we're looking at $1.3 million, right? And so when we actually did the math for him, I said, so how big is your income gap? For most people, it's $30,000. How big is yours? He says, mine is $60,000. I was like, oh, $60,000. When we did the math, the final math, his number was about $760,000 to generate an income for him and his wife, guaranteed for life. Had he used a managed money portfolio, he'd be looking at $2 million. And it's not guaranteed. So we ended up saving him about $1.2 million. And he's like, how do I get this? We're on a plane. How do I get this? I was like, I can't sell it to you. How can I educate my advisor so that my advisor can do this for me? I said, well, tell me you want to accumulate income now, guaranteed for life, and you want control. You want the most amount of income at the lowest cost, guaranteed for life with flexibility. There's nothing else in the universe that can do this.
Yeah, but a managed money guy's not going to sell an index annuity.
They are now. Because they're no longer looking at annuities as products. They're looking at annuities as asset classes. In real estate, what's the most important thing? Location, 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 location. The same thing is true in retirement. It's more about the location of your asset than the allocation of your asset. And now that people are seeing that, and with withdrawal rates are as high as they are right now, there are so many people that are starting to sell annuities that have never sold annuities before. So we did a lot today. 60-second close, boom, boom, boom. We did some prospecting. Like I said, it's not about how do we do this one time, listen to it one time. It's really about now me saying, okay, you go. You go, right? You go. No, you go. And as I'm listening to you go, I'm saying, oh, here's why I would change this. I would change this. Here's why we do this. Here's why we do that. I do these trainings now a lot.
Is that part 2?
That should be part 2.
So you're gonna fly down again? I mean,
No, we do it Zoom.
See, I like you already. I won't be late for that one. I feel so bad. I feel so bad about today.
Suitability do it Zoom?
What was that? Yes,
You can?
I can.
With 6 people or 50 people?
On Monday, on this past Monday, I had 250 people.
So you can do it. So why don't we do it here?
Yeah.
Talk to them in your podcast.
So I think the great thing is Kerry has run his business for a very long time. I think they celebrated, I think, a little over 50 years, 53 years.
Yeah.
And so I respect Kerry with the utmost respect. And so the one thing that I would say is if you see something that you found valuable, then I would say,
Oh yeah, we tell them all the time.
just tell them, and
Bill.
then what they will do is they will structure it to where they could bring me in, and then we can build something out for you all for it to work. It's been my experience that it takes 5 times. It takes us doing it 5 times. It takes me listening to you, right? Because
3 times already.
right, but and then you're gonna say something. I'm saying no.
I'm not joking. The expo.
No, he did.
Yep.
The expo.
I'm a-
Maggiano's in today 3 times.
Yep.
Then we'll do 4 and 5.
That's right. And then it's really
Better cream cheese.
and as we go through it, I will talk less, and then
Sure.
it will be more like, so
Love
let's
you, Charles.
let's
Always,
go.
man.
Well-
Love how you talk, especially when you get loud.
Oh man, I feel like throwing tables.
And your ex-wife.
You know what it is? I've been beat up for a long time in this business because I used to come in with ideas that weren't my own. Hey guys, here's an idea. Here's a statistic, right? And then I do it, and then what happens? Somebody like they sit there and like see the look right there. That's the look of intent. I get that. When I get that look, I know he's thinking. He's like, this guy's full of it. I'm gonna wait until he's right there at the peak, and he's gonna get real quiet in the room. I'm gonna ask my question. And that's what would happen. I would get right there, and then they would say, but what about? And I'd be like, let me do some more research on that. And I've done that so many times. So now, before I present something that I say this is bulletproof, I'm thinking, what is the craziest thing someone can say?
So you're prepared ahead of time.
I am
You
so
have
prepared.
all the
I-
objections.
Yeah,
And
you're always
You're
prepared for
full
all
of-
the objections. That's what
Yeah,
that's what he's
exactly.
trying
That's
to
what
teach
he's
us.
That's
And not that I'm not that I give them everything every time. There are times I'll do a presentation, the same presentation for you 4 times. And then you'll say, Charles, you already did that. And I'll say, well, challenge me. And then when you challenge me, you see something different. And the reason I've learned to do the same presentation over and over again, because you didn't hear it the first time. You felt it, but you didn't hear it.
There's 3 initials for that. PMP. Practice makes perfect.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
It shows.
It does. And now this process has not just helped me, but it's helped others to close millions of dollars in sales. There was this one guy, he used to drive like garbage trucks. No lie. And then the principal of the agent was like, Charles, teach him how to do your thing. And I was like, and the first thing he said was, okay, what's your best product? And I was like, nope, we're not doing that. I said, why? I said, because I'm going to talk 45 minutes about a product, right? You're going to close that call, have a conversation. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to burn an opportunity. I was like, do you want me to talk about product or do you want to make money? I want to make money. If you want to make money, I'm going to give you questions you could ask. What do you want your retirement to look like? When do you want to retire? Why is that important? Maybe you don't go into so much detail as I did, but if you get a clear picture of what do you want your retirement to look like, when do you want to retire, why is it important, then how are you going to get there? Is it guaranteed? You know, if I could put together a plan and give you what you want, when you want, for the reasons you describe, would you do business with me? Yes. I'm going to go back to Kerry. I'm going to go back to Bill. I'm going to go back to my base shop. We're going to figure out, how can we help you? And then you come back, I think I have a plan, but I have a few more questions. Most people that are focused on retirement are focused on one of two things, accumulation or income. Income, you want income now or later. Now, you want a guarantee for life? You want control? How much do you want? Okay, so if we could do all this, would that work? Yes, I think we've got it figured out. I'm going to come back one more time, and then we're going to actually come back with a plan that's going to show you all of these different things. In the meantime, is there anything else that we can help you with? Maybe there's term insurance. Maybe there are other things that you could do to lay that foundation because you start with a story. Maybe they have long-term care needs. Maybe they have a disability. And there are all these other things. So I'm not just trying to sell the annuity. I'm trying to solve the larger picture. And then you come back, you close the annuity. Then the thing is, who else do you think would benefit from this conversation? So now I'm getting referrals. So for me, it's a process. I'm not trying to walk down there and get one. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to run down there and get one. I'm trying to walk down there and get them all. I don't want to hold you all hostage any longer. Are there any other questions or comments that you guys have for me?
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this. I'm like, and when people try to fight me, I'm like, I really don't care. I'm like, I'm gonna close you. I'm gonna close you. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate annuities. But either way, it's not gonna matter because I've gotten your heart, and now I made it a math problem.
They won't be able to sleep.
They won't. It's a math problem. Now, when withdrawal rates were lower, it was an easier math problem for the other argument. You only give me my money back. I could do the exact same thing with bonds. But now,
I have a question
yes,
about annuities. Like
Yes.
children, a mother with children, and you want to
Yes.
buy annuities for your children.
okay.
But I understand supposedly they have to be adults to have an annuity.
20 years old.
18 for us.
18? So you cannot buy an annuity, let's say in the name of a trust, for example.
Hmm.
Can you do that
A trust could be the owner.
for that child? But what happens if you pass? That trust will pay that child at the age that you stipulate on the trust.
It depends on how you structure the trust. But for us, can we allow for a trust to be the owner? Absolutely.
For a minor, yes.
For a minor, yeah. And you got to be careful whenever you're having a minor as the owner of any vehicle, especially an annuity. So my question would be, why would you want a minor to be the owner of an annuity?
Because doesn't the annuity will grow
Pass it on.
the length of time that a young person, a child,
It
has
can.
versus what I
Like an
have,
IUL.
time-wise?
It can, but
Like
my
an IUL for a child.
but that's my thing. So as much as I love annuities, I also understand life
I like the
insurance.
annuity because it's a one-time lump sum that you pay.
It
versus
is.
the IUL that you have to be paying.
But you can still do the IUL the same way.
You can do an IUL. lump
You could
sum
do
also.
you could do a 7-pay. See, I know a little bit of life
Well,
insurance.
you know what I'm saying, but I'm
You
just
could-
saying,
you don't
can
wanna mech
do a
it.
One pay, single pay if you want.
Here's why I would do the life insurance for the child. Beyond the funding, it's the taxes. The most efficient way to generate a legacy for a child
Would be the
is life insurance, right?
So that you recommend that.
Yeah, and it's liquid. It's more liquid. They can't.
Can we ask you questions?
Please.
I'm dealing with some foreign nationals, and they don't live here. They have an ITIN number.
They have an I-10.
They don't have social. How do you?
Yep.
We're doing life insurance. Can I do annuities the same way?
They have an I-10. What's their? I think we're done with the 60-second close part. If you want to keep recording, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. I just didn't want to hold anybody hostage. So the question was, how do we feel about foreign nationals? And so if a person's a foreign national, they have a tax identification number, and they have a U.S. address
Correct.
where we can mail the contract to, right? So that then we're good to go there.
Same way as a life insurance.
Yeah, we're good to go
Is
there.
a PO box acceptable?
As
Or
long,
it has to be a physical.
No, it can't be a PO box.
I'm not sure on that piece. I would assume,
Can't be on. I'm doing it now with.
yeah,
Corbridge is one of the companies.
yeah,
It's got to be a PO. It's got to be a
physical address.
and they have to own a business here as well.
Got it. I think sometimes depends on their citizenship too, because if they're a citizen of Japan, it's different than if they're a citizen of Mexico. So it depends. So what we'll do is when you have those questions, you can funnel them up through Kerry, and then what we'll do is he'll come to us, and then we'll provide our foreign national guidelines and go from there.
Are they on the website? Your website?
I'm not sure. I don't think it is for annuities. It might be. It should. So we model ours after life insurance.
Okay.
So if you have it for life insurance, it's gonna be the same thing for us.
I'm dealing with it out of per se today. I just like to know. So
I know.
you know,
I'm,
I mean, I've got a guy in the Bahamas, but is he considered? He's got he's a U.S. citizen, but lives in the Bahamas. Doesn't have an address here, and has a social security number.
and that would be hard for us because we have to mail the contract, or we have to have some kind of tie address from an address standpoint.
His kids live in Pennsylvania.
See, so we would probably end up
so
using.
he could write it when he's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and it would have to be via U.S. bank.
Right, but he can't.
Right.
He can't do it electronically and sign it there.
See, that's where it gets gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why? Because they know where they can find out where his internet is there.
I don't know if we have that
seen that,
capability.
but-
I'm not saying that we don't have the capability.
I'm not saying
I
you,
haven't
I'm
seen that
saying
we
all companies.
exercise it. Yeah.
Yeah, some do.
I love your intensity.
It's just my face.
I know, man.
No, Tyler's intense.
I can tell you, like, no, it's my face. I'm like, yeah. But no, but thank you. I always pick on people, man. I'm always like picking and poking. Was it good?
Oh, very good.
All right, thank you,
I
man.
like good salespeople. He's a great salesman.
Well, Well, thank y'all again.
Bye.
What else can I do for y'all?
I don't know what else is on the agenda.
I think the biggest thing is, like, there's a lot that we could cover as it relates to annuities, but some guys come in hot and go straight into product, right? What I've learned is if I go into product, I can show you something that's going to be very dazzling and nice and get your attention. But are you going to structure it and deliver it the right way? And am I going to have a conversation with you next year about, no, that's not what the client is getting. That's the income base. No, that's not this, that's that. If I teach you my structure, and when you come to me, I say, okay, this person wants income now, guaranteed for life, and they want control. How old are they? Under 60? That's the assured edge. Oh, they're 65? That's the power protector. Oh, they want it later? When you talk about it, make sure you mention this feature or that feature. So now, when I do that, I know how to help you deliver that with the client in a way that they understand why they're buying it and why certain features are important.
So you just moved into it. So you have your 60-second close when
Yes.
you bring up product in the next meeting or right after.
It depends. It depends on your level of
On the
confidence,
excitement of the customer.
and it depends on what I know. I could do it all.
Right.
I could do it all right here. But sometimes, are they ready for it all?
Sometimes
They
you
need to
can't.
digest.
Do they need to die? Because here's sometimes.
No one buys from us.
That's why I want the story.
Fight them going to their investment advisor.
Okay,
And
so
now that he sells annuities, like you said, everybody's selling annuities.
when I had the conversation, what do you want? When do you want it? Why is it important? How are you gonna get there? Is it guaranteed? You gave me something I know you didn't give him because it was too hard for you to give it to me, right? Then in my closing statement, if I could do this for you, will you do business with me?
You actually asked that. Yes.
I said it, right? Will you do business with me?
Well, when you ask that question, how many people in the years that you've done this, how many people have actually come through and done it, or actually tell you that they will give you the business, but they go because they have that relationship with their.
Okay,
Correct.
okay, but here's the thing, right? So I'm glad you're saying this. Some people do METSUPs, right? And when you look at the tier of how people view people that do life insurance versus METSUP versus money manager versus broker, would you put a person that does METSUPs at the same caliber as a person that works with Charles Schwab? I'm just saying, you wouldn't, right? So I was working with people that were doing METSUP. And they're like, Charles, we're already talking to these clients and they already like working with us and they're talking to us and they're opening up about all these different things. We don't know what to say. I shared the story thing with them and the close with them. The guy says, Charles, it doesn't work. I was like,
You're not doing it right.
you're not doing it right. That's what I said. I said, okay. I sat down in the lobby. I said, let's go right now. Let's go. So right now, I'm like, come on, man, right now.
The gloves up.
I was like, I did. I just looked at him like, right now. I gave him the same look. I was like, go. Said, nope, do it again. Nope, do it again. Nope, nope. Did you feel that? No. Okay, if you don't feel it, they not going to feel it. Do it again.
Passionate.
And then he did it, and then all of a sudden, I felt it. I was like, ooh, I felt it. Did you feel that? I felt it. I said, okay, now when you're in front of your client, I said, give me your sales process. So he walked me through his sales process. I said, at this point, you say this, back out. And at this point, you do this, let it go, and see what they say. You're going to close with a commitment. And then he says, Charles, but what about the other guy? I said, here's the thing. What are you there to do? Protect their health. Have they also done life insurance with you? Yes. You protected their life. And now you're protecting their income. It's income. They know you as a protection specialist. You protected all these things and they love it. And you don't have to talk bad about the financial advisor. As a matter of fact, you can compliment the financial advisor, because by complimenting the financial advisor, you're complimenting them and their decisions and their ability to make good decisions. So the thing is, you've been working with this financial advisor. He did a great job of getting you from here to here. He's going to use the same process to take you from here to here. And you could be out of money. How do you feel? Don't like that. I'm not going to take all of your money, so you don't have to fire this guy. I'm only going to take enough to generate a lifetime income that you don't have to worry about outliving.
I had the same conversation with one of my clients yesterday.
Right?
She's got an advisor, she's got me, and she's like,
I don't wanna. And what can he do it for you? Here's the thing. Does he know what you want? When you want it? Does he know why you want it? Does he know what you just shared with me? Did he? Okay, does he even? So I sat here and helped you to identify things that nobody else has helped you to identify. Don't you think that I'm more qualified to solve that problem?
That's usually my approach.
And you said you were going to do business with me. What changed? I'm not saying you got to. So once you get to that point, which is why the story for me is I want the story. Because with the story is the heart, is the motivation. And they may even say, you know what? This guy only cares about my money. Right? I care about you. That's why I asked these questions, because I care about what is this money going to do. He called me in tears twice. Once he had a check for $500,000. The next time was a check for $1 million. He says, Charles, I had never seen a commission, because once he does that, there's a commission. I've never seen a commission this high. This is like an annual salary. I've never seen it. And I never thought I would get there just by asking simple questions. So for me, I know it works because it's worked for years. And now on this side of it, I'm able to analyze why. Like, what is it that I'm doing? I'm doing the same thing, but what is, this is, and so I think at some point I'll probably put together a white paper that breaks down like all of these different elements and why these different things work. I haven't gotten there yet, but in my mind, I'm like, I got to do it because there are so many people that are in our business that don't know what a close looks like. There are so many people in our business that when people answer questions, they think they got the answer. No, they answered the question. You didn't get the answer to your question. What do you mean? They gave you an answer. It wasn't the answer. I'm looking for the answer. So just because you gave me an answer, is not the answer. And I'm like, nope, that's great, but nope, that's great.
I saw you. You keep on pushing and praying for the answer because you're driving them there.
Yes, and once we're there, their body is going to respond. Like something's going to happen. And I'm like, oh. Did you feel that? Oh, yep. Do you understand it? Oh. Tell me more about, I saw your response. Tell me about that feeling. Because I want to understand it, not just for them. I want to understand it when I see it again, right? If I see it again, now I can understand it. So it's not about just trying to get to the sale. I'm trying to see everything. So it's a process. So that's my process. All right.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you all. All right.
thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Was it worth the wait?
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you. Absolutely.